In the muddy seabeds off the coast of Indonesia, something is pretending to be a fish. But it isn't a fish. It's an octopus. This is Thaumatopsis mimicus, the mimic octopus, an animal whose entire existence is a performance. Discovered officially only in 1998, it fundamentally challenged our understanding of animal defense. Most animals hide by blending in. This one hides by standing out, by becoming something else entirely. Its repertoire is unsettlingly specific. It can pull its arms together, flattening its body to glide along the seafloor like a flounder. Or it can tuck 6 of its arms away, raising the other 2 in opposite directions, undulating them to perfectly imitate a banded sea snake, a venomous predator. It even buries itself in the sand, leaving just 2 arms visible to mimic the snake hunting in a burrow. This isn't just changing color, it's a complete transformation of posture, movement, and apparent identity. Perhaps its most dramatic performance is the lionfish. To achieve this, the octopus spreads its arms out radially around its body, using its webbing to create the illusion of a large, continuous shape. It then uses its chromatophores to produce bold, contrasting stripes of brown and white, perfectly matching the lionfish's warning coloration. And it doesn't just look the part, it moves the part, propelling itself through the water column with a slow, deliberate confidence that screams, "I am venomous, do not touch." This act broadcasts a clear, unambiguous lie to any potential predator. This behavior is a distinct evolutionary strategy known as dynamic mimicry, and it's radically different from camouflage. Camouflage is about not being seen. The mimic octopus wants to be seen, but it wants to be misidentified. This is particularly useful in its habitat, vast open plains of sand and silt. In such an environment, there is often nowhere to hide, so the best defense is to become the most dangerous thing around. It's a high-risk, high-reward strategy that relies on fooling the perception of other animals. The choice of disguise isn't random. It's a calculated, context-sensitive decision. Scientists observed what happens when a mimic octopus is harassed by territorial damfish. Damfish are aggressive, but they have a mortal enemy, the banded sea snake. When confronted by the damfish, the octopus doesn't just pick any disguise from its library. It dives into a burrow, extends 2 arms, and performs its sea snake impression. The damfish, recognizing its predator, immediately flees. The octopus has selected the perfect countermeasure for its specific aggressor. Think about the cognitive steps required for that interaction. First, the octopus must correctly identify the damfish as a threat. Second, it must access a stored piece of information. Damfish are afraid of sea snakes. Third, it must recall the specific set of movements and color patterns required for the sea snake impression. Finally, it must execute this complex motor program flawlessly. This implies a level of situational awareness and decision-making that is extraordinarily complex. How is this physically possible? The octopus's skin is a living display screen, packed with thousands of pigment sacs called chromatophores. Each chromatophore is surrounded by tiny muscles, allowing it to expand or contract in milliseconds, revealing or concealing the pigment within. Beneath this layer are iridophores, which reflect and scatter light to create shimmering blues, greens, and silvers. This system, controlled directly by the brain, allows for instantaneous changes in color and intricate patterns, from the subtle modeling of sand to the bold stripes of a lionfish. But color is only half the story. The octopus has no bones. Its body is what's known as a muscular hydrostat, the same principle that governs a human tongue or an elephant's trunk. It can elongate, contract, stiffen, and bend any part of its body in any direction. This complete freedom from skeletal constraints is what allows it to flatten into a flounder or contort its arms into the spiky fins of a lionfish. It is a master of biological sculpture, using its own flesh as the medium. Why did such a bizarre ability evolve here, in the Limbe Strait and similar muck environments? These areas are ecological paradoxes, low in structural diversity like coral reefs, but incredibly high in biodiversity. Predators and prey live in close proximity on open, exposed seabeds. This creates intense selective pressure. An animal that can't hide must develop other means of survival. For most octopuses, this meant ink and speed. For the mimic octopus, it meant deception. This strategy isn't without its drawbacks. Maintaining such a complex nervous system and muscular control is energetically expensive. A performance also requires the octopus to move slowly and deliberately, abandoning its primary defense, jet-propelled escape. It's an all-or-nothing bluff. If a predator calls the bluff, if it isn't fooled by the lionfish disguise, the octopus is left slow, exposed, and vulnerable. The very existence of this species proves that, evolutionarily speaking, the bluff works more often than it fails. The brain power for this isn't all in its head. An octopus has a donut-shaped brain that wraps around its esophagus, but more than 2/3 of its neurons are located in its arms. Each arm can act semi-independently, capable of making decisions about texture and movement on its own. This distributed computing system may be what allows the mimic octopus to manage the incredible complexity of its transformations. While the central brain decides, become a sea snake, the arms themselves might be handling the fine-tuned details of the undulation and posture. A central question remains: is this incredible ability learned, or is it innate? Octopus mothers lay their eggs and then die. There is no parental care. The tiny planktonic hatchlings are on their own from the moment they emerge. This strongly suggests that the fundamental ability to perform these mimics must be genetically hardwired. A baby mimic octopus probably doesn't need to see a lionfish to know how to impersonate one. The blueprint for the performance is likely part of its inheritance. However, innate behavior doesn't exclude the possibility of learning. It's likely that while the basic costumes are instinctual, an octopus gets better at using them over time. Through experience, it might learn which disguises are most effective against which predators, or refine the subtle movements of its impersonations. It might even learn new mimics by observing other toxic animals in its environment. We simply don't have enough data to know for sure. The line between instinct and intelligence is blurry, and the mimic octopus lives right on that line. We often hear that the mimic octopus impersonates up to 15 different species, including jellyfish, anemones, and mantis shrimp. But is 15 a hard limit? It's more likely that 15 is simply the number of distinct, recognizable mimics that researchers have happened to document. The number is an artifact of our observation, not necessarily a limitation of the octopus's biology. Its ability might be more generative, like a language with which it can create countless variations depending on the situation. What other performances are we missing? How many times has a diver swum past what they thought was a harmless sea creature, only for it to be a mimic octopus in a disguise we don't yet recognize? Its repertoire might be vast, a catalog of deceptions tailored to the specific sensory worlds of its predators. It might be mimicking animals based on their chemical signals or electrical fields, dimensions of reality we are not privy to. The true extent of its abilities is likely far greater than what we've managed to film. The mimic octopus forces us to confront the possibility of intelligence that is profoundly different from our own. It's a consciousness that experiences the world through 8 semi-independent arms and skin that can see and taste. Its reality is one of constant fluid transformation, where its own body is not a fixed form, but a mutable tool for manipulating the perceptions of others. To understand the mimic octopus isn't just to understand a clever animal, it's to glimpse a completely alien form of thought, a mind that thinks in shape and color.
Monotony has grown fast. Nearly 2,700 people have watched in the last few weeks, yet less than 0.03% are subscribed. It would mean a lot if you joined by hitting subscribe. And again, thanks for watching.